Ash, and this is Jumping to Conclusions, a series where I pick a game I've never played before. I play the first level and then I guess what happens next. I then play the last level to see if my prediction was right, and then decide if it's something I'd actually want to play. Today I'm playing the first and last level of Prince of Persia. Prince of Persia is a 1989 fantasy cinematic platformer for the Super Nintendo. In fact, it was the first ever cinematic platformer. It may not look realistic now, but at the time the movement of the characters were very realistic. The game designer used rotoscoping techniques to animate the characters based on video footage of live actors performing the same stunts. The game was critically acclaimed and inspired many other games in the cinematic platformer subgenre. So I'm gonna get playing and see how truly cinematic this game is. I am enjoying the amount of backstory given. This really helps you get into character. The name Jafar was dragged through the mud in the 80s and 90s. Wow. 2 hours to decide if you are to marry a villain or die. I know that the man saving a princess is an age-old tale and people love to hear it, but it hasn't aged well. Nowadays, the princess would defeat Jafar, absorb his power and use it to do good, like planting crops and freeing caged animals. Welcome to the dungeon! A thing exclusive to cinematic platformers is that the characters have the limitations of real life. So they can only jump as high as a real human, and they can only act in a time frame that real humans can. I can't jump mid-fall. In fact, I actually have to wait until I've recovered from my fall before I can even get up again. It makes the game that bit more challenging. Oh, this was a mistake. Nope, 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 nope. A lot of trial and error goes into navigating the game. For example, when I stand here, the door opens, but then when I run towards it, I accidentally trigger a panel that closes it. So I have to stand very precisely, jump very precisely, and try not to die. And while I do learn from dying, it's still frustrating because I have to go all the way back to the start. There's scaffolding here. Kinda like they didn't finish building the dungeon. Okay. These people did not die of natural causes. But I found a sword. I'm just not sure where I'm supposed to go now. There's nowhere else down here. The only thing I can think of is, now that I have a sword, bothering the sword guy. He's still as pissed off as when I first met him. I have a sword now too, buddy. Nice, so he's gone. And I'm here, just cutting about. Ah, stones that open doors. I should be used to this by now. Okay, it looked like I was about to head up some stairs. I expect that by the end level I'll be out of the dungeons and probably ready to save the princess. There's not many places this can go really, it's the oldest story in the book. It's the castle. Why the 5 empty screens? I don't need the workout. Here we go. What are you gonna do, Jafar? Oh, he just whisked me off to his room of requirement? His magic is much better than my sword. I'm really letting the princess down. How is he doing that? I can't do anything to stop this. What if I go this way? Oh, can I just escape? Like, forget the fight, I'll seek asylum. Ah, she's here to tell me not to jump. So, if I time it right, I can defer the energy balls and get a bit closer to hit Jafar, but it takes a lot of practice. The more I do it, the more I'm getting somewhere. It's taken me ages just to get to this point, and he comes out with more power and more health. Just gotta keep stabbing. Time to go tell the princess the good news. Aw, she's elated to see me. And this mouse wants in on the action? Oh, my lack of face is quite eerie. Was this something I lost along the way? No one in history would describe himself that way. So tell me about yourself. Well, I'm a youth. Oh, you are? Yes, I do young people things. Oh, you got a new name. They did the thing! And it's the end of the game. The game is set in ancient Persia. While the Sultan is fighting a war in a foreign land, his vizier, Jafar, seizes power. His only obstacle to the throne is the Sultan's daughter. Jafar locks her in a tower and orders her to become his wife, or she would die within 2 hours. The game's unnamed protagonist, whom the princess loves, is thrown into the palace dungeons. In order to free her, he must escape the dungeons, get to the palace tower, and defeat Jafar before time runs out. In stage 3, a skeletal swordsman comes to life and does battle with the protagonist. That sounds so cool! I love skeletons. They're like one of my favourite things. A unique trap encountered in stage 4 is a magic mirror. The protagonist is forced to jump through this mirror, upon which his doppelganger emerges from the other side. This apparition later hinders the protagonist by stealing a potion and throwing him into a dungeon. The protagonist cannot kill this apparition as they share lives. Any damage inflicted upon one also hurts the other. Therefore, the protagonist must merge with his doppelganger. That's so cool. Like, I really like this concept of you being your own challenge. This is where the realism has actually really hit me. In stage 8, the protagonist becomes trapped behind a gate before he can reach the exit. In this stage, the princess sends a white mouse to trigger the gate open again, allowing him to proceed to the next level. Well, now I know why the mouse was getting in the end celebration. Once Jafar is defeated, his spell is broken and the princess is saved. So this game was a challenge, but in a good way. I felt like, although I died a lot, I learned something new every time. There was a good mix of it being a puzzle, a platformer, and a beat 'em up. I missed out on a cool doppelganger and a skeleton, and honestly I would go back and play the game just for them. So congratulations, Prince of Persia. You are a winner in my book. Thank you for jumping to conclusions with me. See you next time.